Hello friend, welcome back. In our previous video, we successfully complete our flow and the unflow option. So right now I'm logging with the Kazi, right? I'm logging with the Kazi, and this Kazi, they have the two flowers. So if you go to our home and if you search with the Udemy, and I have already flowed this user. So this user name as a Udemy Aryan, and this user, they have the 4 posts. Okay, so here I want to do this type of one of the work. Which user you already flow, this user, all that post data I want to visible in our home page. I hope it's very much clear to you, friend. So right now I'm logging with the Kazi. So Kazi already flow this user, that means the Udemy Aryan user. So this user, they have the 4 posts, so only this post will be visible. Okay, so whatever the user I will flow, so all that flowing user, all that post will be visible in our home page. So now I want to work with this. So for doing this, if you go to our right now we don't need this. I remove everything. Okay, I remove everything. I want to make that things as a clean. I clean it, and for doing this, if you go to our home, if you go to our template, into the template, that have our home. I have already created, that is our app, that means the app post. Into the app post, that is our home.html. So into the home.html, I have already declared that part. That means if any user search anything, when you will get any user, then it will be display our this user, right? So that is our for loop. Into the for loop area, I put that all that our details. That means it will be display our profile picture, and also it will be display that profile username and then our full name, right? That means if you search it on here, I feel the search, and now you can see it's showing us an image, and that is our username and that user full name. And also after that, I have already declared another part, that means our else it will be display our total post. So now we have to work in our particular that area, right? So that is our search option. Better I minimize it. So that is our search option, that is our and for, and then another else it should be display our rest of this work. That means here I want to display when this user, which user is already flowed. So this flowing user, all data, that means all post data I want to visible in here. So it should be display in particular that position. So if you want to do that work here, we have to work in our view. That means if you go to our app post, so right now that is, we have to work in our app post, and into the app post, if you go to that view, so into the view here you can see I load our home.html, right? So now we have to put that action in our this particular function area, that is our home function. So for doing this here, we will need two things. We will need our flowing user, and also we will need our post. Because of all that is the two things will be needed. Which user actually flow, we have to find out, and which post you want to visible. That means this user, that means the flowing user post I want to visible, right? So first of all, I want to take both of these. Like here, that is our app logging. If you go to our app logging models, if you go to app logging, app logging models, and with the app logging models, that is our user profile. And also now we will need our flow. That means which user is already flow. So here we have to take it. So for the reasons I want to take it, and in our view, that means in our app, that means our app post view, here I want to first of all add our this class. I hope it's very much clear to you. And also I want to display our this flowing user post. So for the post, if you go to our app post, if you go to our app post models, and from to the models, we will need our this post, right? So now I also want to take it. So if you want to take it, then after that I added as a from. So that will be our from our app underscore post. So from to the app post, there is a models, right? From the model, I want to input our this class as a post class. Right, friend? I hope it's very much clear to you. So that is the two things will be needed, our flow user, and also I need our post. That means here I want to visible our flowing user, all that post. So that is our app post, and then there is our models, and from to the model I have already created one of the class as a post class. So that is our post class. So now first of all I input both of these, and now I have to work in our that is our request, and after that request I want to do, before this our condition, here I want to take one of the variable, and I just name it as a flowing user. Okay, I name it as a flowing user or list. Better I name it as a user list. And then I have to get all that our flowing user data. Because of all which user is already flow our another user, we have to get this data, right? So now if you want to do that work, so with this flow class here, I want to filter it. That means I want to get that objects, and from objects I want to filter it with our if you go to our model, that means here. So for our flow here, I have already created that relation with our user. So I have created that relation with the user, that means our flowing, right? So right now I want to find out which user is already flowing with our another user. If you go to our page, if you go to that Aryan, now here you can see they have the two flower. So now we have to get our this two flower. That means that is actually our flower, right? So I have already created that relation with our user class with our this name as a flower. So now we have to first of all get it. That means which user is already flower with which user. So first of all I take it, so that is our relation name as a flower. So now I copy it, and now in our view, into the view area, I want to filter it. Our flower will be what? Our flower will be matched with our requested user, that means our current user. So now I name it our current user. Okay friend, and also I have to display our post. That means when our these two of this will be matched, that means the flower and our current user, that means this current user already have some of the flower, then I want to get our this data and take the things with this variable, right? So that means if you go here, you can see they have the two flower. That means these two flower, all that post data I want to get. So for the reasons here, I take another variable as a posts, and then with our post model, I have already loaded our post model, right? So with our post model, I want to get all that object, that means the objects, and then I want to filter it. That means filter means it will be searched in our database area. So now I want to check it. That means if you go to our app post, so that is our post. So first of all here I want to check it. That means which author already flowing our this list. So here we have to add it. That means this author. So they have also another command line if you want to check it. That means which author is already flowed that user. So that will be as a author and double underline in. Okay, so with this command we can actually access it, and then I have already declared our current user flowing all the details and take the things with this variable, and here I pass it. And after that I want to show all that our value list. That means which user is already flowing. Okay, that means that is have another one as a flowing. So now I want to get this data. So here in particular that area, after that will be as a value list. Okay, value and then underscore list. So our value list will be on here. We have to pass our this flowing. So now our this flowing information data, I take the things with this variable as a post, right? So now I have to pass it. I have to pass it in our home.html. Then we will be able to display our all that flowing user post. So that means here after that result, okay, after that result I pass our this post in our dictionary area. So it will be as a post, right friends? So now we can actually display our all that flowing user post in our home.html page. So now go to our home.html, that means here. So now I want to design it fast. That means that is our else, into the else area. First of all, I want to take one of the div, and I make one of the row, and then also I take another column. So I take another div, and it will be as a call sm, and I name it as a call sm8 for this part. Okay, that will be our 8 part. And also I want to take another one. I copy it and here I paste it. So it will be as a call 8. That means it will be as a call 4, right? Then it equal to our 12. So first of all, in our this column area, into the column area, I want to display all that our post details. So if you want to display that post details, first of all, we have to run our for loop, right? We have to run that for, that means the for, I name it as a post. So post in what? Post in, if you go to our view, so from to the view I have already get all the data. I take the things with this post, and also I pass this post in our dictionary area. That means we can access it now in our home.html, right? So now here I pass it that post. So now I want to actually visible it. That means I want to visible it in our home. in our home, so it will be as a post. So I just take that as a post, it will be as a post. Or if you want to change that, if you want to make that things as a row, you can change it as per your demand. Okay, and now also we have to finish it. That means we have to finish our and for and that our and for, and here I take one of the div, and I want to put some of the better here. I want to put some of the style on particular that area, so it will be as a, I name it as a style. So I take one of the style, and into the style area I want, first of all I want to put some of the border, then it will be better. I put another border, and border will be as a 1 pixel for now, and I also make it as a solid. Okay, I make it as a solid, and I also want to put some of the color as a DDD. Okay, so this type of one of the color, it will be visible. So that will be our div style. And also after that I want to take another div. I take another div, and into the div area I want to visible all that our post image. So for the post image means actually you can see that is actually the same condition. Okay, that means if this user have any dynamic post profile picture, then this profile picture will be visible rather than it should be display our default image. So now I want to actually take these things. That means I first of all I want to display our image. So I copy it, and here I want to paste it. Okay friends, so that will be just like that same. So I have already done this type of work before. So that is our here, that the if condition, that is our media, and that is our and if. So here if this user have any profile picture, then it should be display our dynamic profile picture rather than it should be display our default one, right? So right now we are already in our post. That means we are already into the for loop, and into the for loop I take all that our post data and take the things with this variable. So now we have to pass it. That means this user profile will be our, first of all, with this post. So with this post, if you go to our model, into the model, that is our post, right? So this post I name it with the author. So here also you have to declare that as the author. So with this post, and then it should be as the author, and with this author I want to use our this user profile, and that will be our profile picture. And also same as we have to update it. That means user will be our post author, and then user profile, and then profile picture. Okay friends, so here I successfully updated that part. And then that is our and if. So now first of all I want to check it. That means here it should be visible which user. Right now I am already logging with the Kazi. So which Kazi, they have the 2 followers, so only this follower's name will be visible, right? Now click as a home. Yes, you can see friend, now it's perfectly visible. So that is actually our which one. If you search with the Udemy, you can see I have already flowed this user, that means our Udemy profile. So now you can see it's now successfully display our this Udemy profile, right friend? I hope it's very much clear to you. So now it's successfully display that name. So now better I also want to display our name. That means here there is our and if. After that and if, here I take another ahead if, and it should be our, I want to show that name, that means our author name. It should be as a post, and then our author, that means this post author actually. So it will be our this post, and then that is actually our author, right? So with this post author I want to display our this post author name. Now if you click as a save all, and now if you refresh it, yes, you can see it's now perfectly visible our Udemy Aryan. So that is the Udemy Aryan. They have the 4 posts. That means these 4 posts actually, for the reasons it's showing as a 4 post actually, right? If you go and search with the Udemy, search it, go to Udemy, here you can see they have the 4 posts. So we perfectly get our user first. So that is our all that flowing user. So right now if you unflow this user, what exactly it should be happen, I show you. Like right now I unflow it. Okay, so now when it should be unflow, if you go to home, yes, you can see it's not visible that user any data. That means when you actually flowing this user, so that is the things I want to do. When you flowing this user, and after that flowing this user, all that post I want to visible in our home. You can see it's now perfectly visible our this user for home. So now I want to put some of the link. That means here if you click on here, it will be redirected to our this user profile page. So what exactly we have already done. If you go to that Udemy, so here you can say put some of the link. If you click as a link, then it should be redirected to our this profile page. So I also want to put the same link. So in our particular this page, you can see here I have already put some of the URLs. It should be just like that same for our this username. And in our else option, so here there is a post author. So here I want to pass it. So that this user will be our this post author, not that our user. So it should be our this post author. Now I want to pass it. So it should be our this post author. Okay, right friend. Now let's check this out. If you now click as a save all, and now if you first of all want to check it, everything is running well. Now if you go and refresh it, now if you go and click on here, yes, you can see it's now perfectly redirected to our particular this user, that means this user profile page. So now I want to do, I also want to display all that our post. So if you want to display this post, first of all here, that is our Andy and for, so after this div, okay, after this div I take one of the bracket, and after this bracket I want to put some of the image tag. That means our image tag should be visible. So here if you want to display it, it should be in our media, right, into the media. And then with this post, right now I am already in our for loop. So with this post I want to visible our field name. If you go to our post, app post, and if you go to our models, so there is a field name as the image, right? So now I want to visible our this image name. So that will be our image. So now if you click as a save all, and now if you refresh it, yes, you can see it's now perfectly getting all that image. That means this user, all that post image is visible, right? So better I want to put some of the height wide for this image. So now I want to put one of the wide. Okay, wide will be as 100%. I make it as our this column 100%. And now if you click as a save all, and now if you refresh it, yeah, you can see it's now perfect. And also for this post I have already added some of the captions, right? So if you want to display that caption, you can also display it better after this. Okay, after this I take another div, and I want to put some of the style on here. Okay, I put some of the style. So now I want to put some of the style, and here I want to put some of the padding. I want to add some of the padding. I want to make that as a 20 pixel right now. Okay, let's check this out, what exactly it's look like. And after that I want to take one of the h3 tag, h3 tags into the h3 tags area, and to display with our this post. Right now I am already in our for loop. So into the for loop I have already declared that all that post data with the post, right? So with this post I want to display our field name as a captions, right? Now I want to visible our this caption. So that will be our caption. Now let's check this out. If you now click as a save all, and now if you refresh it, yes, you can see it's now perfectly visible our this caption as a my post. That is a caption, that is our another caption, and that is the another caption. So better I want to make that our image size little bit small. I make it as a 50. Okay, I make it as a 50. It will be as a 50, 50, 50, and also 50. Now click as a save all, and now if you refresh it, yeah, you can see it's pretty better. So that is our all the post is perfectly visible. And also in our right side area, that means here I have already declared another column. So into the column area I want to display our this user details. Okay, so if you want to display it better here, so that is our div. So here there is our another div, I and it, and that is our and for, and then our another div, right? So you can see that is actually our another div, and that is our call sm4. So here I want to display our user details. So better I take another div and I put one of the row, and here I take another div and I put that things as a call sm, and I make it as a call sm4. And also better I copy it, and I want to take another one. It should be as a 4 and it should be as 8 equal to our 12, right? So here in our this 4 column area I want to visible our this profile, that means this profile details. So here if you want to display it, I have already added that part. That means here you can see that is our same condition. Now I copy it, and now I want to add it in our this call 4, that means here. That means if this user have any image, it should be display our this profile image rather than it should be display our another, that means our default image, right? So friend, here we don't need to do anything because of right now I am already outside from our this and for. So that will be the same. Here that is our user, that is our user profile, picture will be visible, right? And after that, that is actually our another one. So here I want to display our this user details. That means our this user name, and also if you want to display that this user full name, you can display it. So right now I want to do that work. So it will be as a with our this user, because for right now we are outside of this our for loop. So with this user I want to use our display our username, and also I want to display our first name, right? That means with this user, and if you want to display your full name, that means if you go to our model, into the model, so that is our account, that is our profile, right? So that is our profile. If you want to access it, that means with this user, that is our user profile. With this user profile I have to use, that means I have to access our this name, that means this field as a full name, right? So I want to add it. That means here with this user profile, I want to access our this field as a full name. So now I want to add it our this full name. So friend, I hope it's very much clear to you. I have already discussed about that things with you. So if you want to display your this field name, you have to display that relation name and then our full name. Now let's check this out. If you now click as a save all, and now if you go to home, yes, you can see it's now visible our this user picture, and then that is our this user details is visible. That means better I want to add some of the bracket. Okay, I want to add some of the bracket, and also I make it as a bold, and also here I want to make it as a bold. Okay, then it should be better. I cut it, and here I paste it, and I cut it, and here I paste it. If you now click as a save all, and now if you refresh it, yeah, you can see it's now showing as a username, and that is our first name. So here it's now display our this user, that means current logging user, all that post, right? And that is our all that flowing user post. So right now I'm flowing this user. So if you go again with this user, click as a search, and if you unflow this user, and if you go to our home, you can see it's not display any post. So as I told you, when after that flowing that user, all that flowing user picture, that means all that flowing user post I want to visible. If you now flow it, now go to home, and here you can see after that actually visible, right friend? So it's very much interactive. I hope you enjoy it very much. So in our next video I want to discuss about that like option. That means if you want to like this image, that means here I want to add some of the fafa icon, and from to the fafa icon, if you want to like this picture, then it should be selected. If you unlike it, then it should be unselected. Okay, so how can do that work? In our next video I will show you that things with a live example. So thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.